So we've done a quick overview of the CoolerMaster CM Quickfire XTI motherboard, and we actually thought, well actually what I thought is I should have gone into a little bit more detail and maybe show you a few little tricks and tips that you can do with the keyboard. Stick around if you want to find out more. In the box you'll receive a very detailed, informative pamphlet, and it will be explaining to you how to use the FN function button on the keyboard with the escape, or the FN button with F1 to F12, and how to obviously program your macro keys that are actually on the mechanical keyboard. So this will actually extract your keys and make sure that they come out really perfectly without damaging them beautiful cherry MX brown switches, which you don't really want to do. So we've got 1.8 meters long cable, and it's all braided and it's solid and it feels very good quality, and that's what you want. You want a cable that you can straighten out and actually have nice cable management. So you know them other cables are all bent up like that. Well, this one you can actually straighten out and make it look very nice on the desk, and it's got gold ends as well, so better conduction for electricity, no, better conductivity for actually your keyboard and your computer, meaning it's more stable, so yeah. So let's talk a bit more in detail about this keyboard, which we didn't do in my other video. Well, on the bottom we've got these feet that flap up, which means it raises up the keyboard. So it depends on your own preferences, if you want it flat down like that, or you want the keyboard slightly raised up. But a good thing about it, on other cheaper keyboards you probably won't have rubber feet. Now having the rubber feet on here means that it's not to scratch your desk, and it won't mark it if it's wet, which I've already tested, so that's good. It's got rubber feet as well to lay it flat down, so they didn't skimp out on that. So well done, CoolerMaster. CoolerMaster's logo is nicely cut out at the bottom, which is nice. Then you've got a braided cable which you include into the box, and it threads straight into there, and it keeps it nice and straight, and it doesn't try to break the actual connector inside. So it keeps it nice and sturdy, which is a really good feature for that. And let's talk about the keys. So these keys are not really that loud, as you can hear. Let me type a little bit softer. So that's not that loud, and me typing really hard, they are quite quiet. And these, the reason is because these are MX cherry switches, but these are brown switches, so very good quality brown switches, which are made for typists, and gamers use them as well, but overall they're more for typists and gamers at the same time, without the noisy clickiness that you would get from blue switches. Red switches are definitely gaming ones, and black ones are definitely for gaming as well. And then you've got the blue ones, or is it the blue one? No, blue ones are definitely for typing and making that stupid clicking noise. But yeah, who wants to annoy other people? I don't. Anyway, so here we go, we've got with where's the FM button? Alright, the FM button's here, and that means that you can use the escape button and FN to program buttons, or you can use the FM button and program with the F1 to F12 buttons. And there's your macro programmable buttons, which we're going to take a look and show you how to program your fancy lighting RGB going-ons. And I like the way the keys are raised and everything. They feel nice. I've already tested it, and it feels nice when you type them with the buttons and stuff like that. You've got Windows button here and there. You can obviously change it to CoolerMaster if you want to purchase that separately, make it look all CoolerMaster and flashy. And basically, with it, when it comes to gaming, this feels good. I've typed emails out, great. Now I'm going to tell you when I first got the keyboard out and I actually used it. So I'm all very happy in that, and I've taken the keyboard out and I plugged it into the computer, and it should be just plug and play, which it is plug and play, but the fact is it didn't work straight away. When I was typing the email out, I was typing like double letters, and I was like, am I having a bad day or what? What's going on? So I carried on typing, and then it kept coming up with double letters. Then I went to delete, and then when I went to delete, it goes zoom. It was just gone, completely gone. And I was like, well, what's going on here? The delete button's kind of fast. This keyboard's really too fast for me. What is going on? Then I realised that I might need a firmware or driver update. So to go and find that, where I'm going to leave a link in the description for where you can get the driver update for this keyboard if you first buy it and you're thinking that you may have problems, which is this is what we're doing. We're trying to sort out the community out there with like tips and tricks of how to sort this out without going to the manufacturer and waiting days and days for an answer. I'm right here. So we go, I'm going to leave a link in the description down below, like I said, and then basically you go to CoolerMaster's website and you download the firmware and you update it, and I can't believe it, it works. I'm typing at the right speed, I'm deleting and deleting at the right speed. But what's even more great is that all the functionality, the first thing why I wanted this keyboard is because I wanted to see like what kind of patterns and Rgb lighting that I can get to go with my build. And it weren't working. But when I went to go and get the firmware update, oh my god, it even had even more functionality. So that means that I could even play snakes on here, and like it had different coloured like wave lights, and it was brilliant. You have to check out the link down below to know what I'm talking about if you've got this keyboard, and you'll understand what I'm talking about. But I'm going to show you later on in the video what it's all about. Right, so let's start off with some tips then. So with holding down FN on this keyboard, you've got the plus and pause, the pause and the play button, and then you've got a forward skip, and then you've got volume up and volume down and backward skip and stop. So with being page up and page down, FN executes the actual bottom layer of the actual key. So I can go, I've got a video here playing, so I'll go FN, play, so we're gonna also, and there we go. And then I'm going to lower my volume of my voice down so you can hear what I'm saying. And if I go to do volume up, doesn't work, volume down, and play, doesn't work, and pause. So FN, hold that down, and this will pause the video, play the video, pause the video, play the video. But you can also, another tip, you can press spacebar and that does it as well, and replays it. And obviously volume up so you get louder sound. So, and I'm going to press FN and I'm going to go end, which has got backwards skip. So I'm going to skip back and I'm going to play myself again from where I was, and then turn the volume up in another video. But this is, and that's how easy it is for that sort of tip. And then other tips that we've got, we can obviously program buttons by obviously what can we use? We can use FN and we'll hold down mode, and then you get different functions here. That's a tracer, and then you got another mode, and you got the rainbow fade as well, where the colours fade across the board, and then got different colours, and that's like a breathing function. And then you can go which one's that? This one's a pulsating movement, which I didn't even know it had. So it's got more than 7 settings, definitely. So there's one that goes a little bit further. Let's press again. What happens here? Right, so this goes right across the whole keyboard, lights it up, and then comes back down again. What's that one do? That's doing the same, it's getting brighter. I like that, that's cool. That's the stop. So what's red do? Red does that as well. So it's like graphic equalizer. If you imagine it going up like that on the screen, and the graphic equalizers are going up and down, that's what it's like. So you can make it brighter, slower. I like this. This is cool. That's the brightest, I reckon. No, that's the brightest. And then off. And those are all the tips and tricks that you can do with macro buttons. Obviously, one note, FN, and you press F4, and that will lock the keys so it doesn't start to go on the display and stuff. So actually, no, there's one more thing that I can do. Let's go on to Word, and I can show you a Word document quickly, because I haven't showed you the speed. So if I go on FN F5 times 1 and type in hello, you get normal speed. This is kind of my speed. So FN F6 times 2, a little bit faster. And then if we go FN F7 times 4, this is where we start to get really fast. And then if I go into FN, F8, then you've got to be prepared to be like the Flash. So I'll type in hello, and that's how quick it types. Now, let's go backwards and then you can see what I'm talking about. So if I hold delete, that's how quick it deletes in FN, F8 function button. And if I do FN, F7 times 4, and I delete again, that's how fast that is. And let's get some words out here so you can see how fast it deletes backwards and you'll understand. So that is that function. So FM S6 times 2 delete is slower, and then FN F5 times 1, and that's how slow that it deletes. But that's the sort of, if you imagine typing really fast, that's what you would actually incorporate. That's the sort of speeds that you can actually change it to, or you can activate that in the game. FN and then escape, that will bring it back to default settings, and then if you press it again, that's completely the default settings of when you actually get the keyboard. So you can program all your buttons, no problem. I've covered that, how you do that, FN, and then you find out like your mode, what you want, and then you press, like, so you press P3. That has got snakes at the moment, but you can delete that and then actually incorporate your actual function in there and stuff like that, which is really great. So those are all the tips and tricks. So this mechanical keyboard has 4 programmable macro button settings, as well as adjustable lighting settings as well. Now you're probably asking, is the keyboard ergonomic? Yes, it is very ergonomic and it's very comfortable, and if you're left-handed and right-handed, you could actually write with it. Now, you're probably wondering, there's got a key puller in there. Is it going to be a bit difficult to get the key out? Well, I've got the CoolerMaster tool now, and I'm going to show you how to pull out a key just by using this CoolerMaster tool, because this is how easy it is. So I'm going to go in for the H, and you see these little grooves here. These are to go underneath the actual cap itself. So I'm going to put it like that, and then I'm going to twist a little bit, and then I'm just going to pull up, and then you've got the key. It's as simple as that. And then you can see that it reveals the brown switches underneath and the RGB light that's flashing now. So let's get another one. Let's go for an F, and as I said, this goes underneath the keycap, and I'm going to go under the F like that, twist it a little bit, and then I'm going to pull up, and then it's got the key, and you just hold your fingers like that and it stops the key from pinging off anywhere. And just to put them back on is as simple as, after you cleaned it or anything like that, you can just put your finger back on and it clips straight back on. There's no problems whatsoever. And that's how you can take the keys off with the CoolerMaster tool. No, it's actually quite simple. The actual device or the tool that CoolerMaster included into the box, the keys come off pretty easy. The only thing you got to do is remember the QWERTY keyboard. Remember like where the keys actually go. But once you put them on there back, if you need to clean the keys, you can easily pull them up and give it a vac. Well, probably wouldn't say a vac, because you might vacuum something you don't want to vacuum. But anyway, getting all the dust out and everything like that is going to be quite simple with the key puller. Well, you already know how to take the buttons off. CoolerMaster giving you the tool, which is the tool to get women to pull them, because that's the key for the tool that CoolerMaster give you. So this is the CoolerMaster tool that they give you with the keyboard in the box, and it's got 2 ends, and basically it splits into 2 like that, and then underneath it's got the key, and you put these grooves underneath the key, and then you close it up a little bit, and when it's in there firmly, you pull straight up, and once you pulled up straight, it just makes sure that the key doesn't actually damage or anything, which you're not going to damage it because you've got the tool, obviously, your tool. Well, if you want to find out where the programmable buttons are, they're situated onto the right of the keyboard, which is P1, P2, P3 and P4. Those are where your programmable buttons will be. Typing with this keyboard is a blessing for me, but to be honest with you, it's your own preferences, and you need to obviously take my word for it, or go into a shop and kind of press them buttons. But obviously, if you know about MX Cherry switches that are brown, you're obviously going to know that these keys are quite nice, especially on a top quality manufacturer like CoolerMaster CM Storm. This keyboard may vary in different countries and different regions, because Well, I'm not too sure why it might vary, but obviously I'm telling you that it does vary. So basically, you can get blue, red and brown for this actual model. So if you're looking or in the need of a mechanical gaming keyboard and you don't like brown switches, then look for blue or red. It depends. Just make sure that you type in or look for the model and it will actually tell you. These keycaps are very nicely coated and they don't feel like they're going to slip while you're hitting them keys. And also it's got 1000, the polling rate's 1000 Hertz to 1 millisecond. So it's pretty quick because USB 2 that's activated on this keyboard is at its full speed as well. So you're not going to be getting any delays on the keyboard like you probably would with another manufacturer. You're going to be getting great feedback from this keyboard. So on this mechanical keyboard, the Rgb functionality that we've got with it, I clocked up about 7 settings that you can mess around with on the actual keyboard, which was trace function, breathing function, rainbow, which rainbow goes from purple, blue and red, and it fades off very slowly into the keyboard. And then we've got a solid like lighting where it could be blue, red and purple depending on how you want it. You can also dim it and then make it brighter. It goes through 7 settings until you get it to the brightest point, or 7 settings back down to the lowest point depending on your gaming and that. I think I said snake, and we've got a laser light, so you press the button and it's got like a laser light that goes up and across. And we also got wave when you press a button function or you input a button and it will just wave straight out depending on the colours. So that is really good from CoolerMaster from adding that feature, especially that you can get that from the drivers, which I'll leave the link in the description down below. Well, this is the $1,000,000 question that everyone always asks me, and basically I'm going to answer it right now. So basically, you get the keyboard or anything from CoolerMaster that is kind of like newish. You can program the buttons and you can take your keyboard, because we're going to talk about the keyboard, and you can place it with a laptop or another PC, and yes, all your programmable macro buttons will stay the same in the same settings after you left it from wherever you set it up from in the first place. I think the keyboard is not too bad in value for money. It is very competitive with other keyboards. The quality and the build is definitely one, like I would give it basically 9 out of 10 for this keyboard, because the keyboard it's solid. It doesn't really bend. It's ergonomic. You've got all the functionality with the lights and stuff like that. The key presses are really nice. They're not annoying. It's for gaming and typing, so you've got a best of both worlds at that price point as well. The key coating of the keys feel really nice, and when you're typing it doesn't feel like you're going to slip and press the wrong key or anything like that. So especially in gaming, which is a main feature, when you want to get that headshot or something like that, you want to make sure that these keys are active. Plus it's connected to USB 2 at the fullest speed, and it's very active and very fast, and it's very clean. So it means like when you're clicking, when I'm talking about clean, I'm talking about when you type in, the buttons feel really clean and it don't feel like they're going to overlap or anything. Obviously it's a full size keyboard and you've got your programmable macro buttons there, and there's nothing really more else to say about the keyboard other than yes, go out there and buy it. But there is a couple of problems. Obviously when you first get the keyboard, if you do buy it, make sure that you go to CoolerMaster in the link in the description, which I'm going to leave down below, like I keep saying probably the 4th time. Make sure that you go and update your firmware straight away for keyboard or mouse or any other CoolerMaster products, and you won't have any problems, and you probably have more functionality and more stuff added on, which is an add-on, which is really good because you don't expect it. It doesn't say that in the box, but yeah, anyway. So that's a very good point for CoolerMaster. Going to get the firmware and then you're going to be happy and you'll be away. Things I don't like about it: finger magnet. You can wipe it away, but finger magnets, I hate it. If you've got sweaty hands, your keyboard will be sweaty, there's no doubt about it, and it will look tatty. But just clean it, not a problem. I like the keys, can be pulled off, no problem. What else is bad about it? There's nothing really bad about it. It's just a really good keyboard. You just have to go out there and buy it. So go out there and buy it because I say so, because it's that good. So if you thought this video was very good, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, because if you do hit that subscribe button, don't forget to hit the like button. But if you didn't like it and I missed something, or you want to leave something in a comment, hit that dislike button, because if you hit that dislike button, you better hit that comment button as well. Well, there's not a comment button, but there's somewhere where you can type a comment in and then let me know what you thought about the video, or anything that I can help you with. Leave your comments and I will help you. And I can be found on Instagram, Facebook, Google+, obviously YouTube, and don't know where else I can be found. But oh yeah, Twitter. Don't forget Twitter as well. But if you want to get in contact with me, obviously find me there. And I'm also in the forums and CoolerMaster as well. I don't work for CoolerMaster, but I like to help anyone in the community that I can with any problems. And obviously buying this keyboard, you will have problems without updating it first. So hit me up, send me a message and let me know. And at the end of the day, I'll see you in the next one, and thanks for watching.